What is beep speed? Well, beep speed is our new patented adjustment on our digital range alarms. We've got our digital signal processing, which has allowed Delkim users for the first time to really maximize the performance of our vibration sensor. What beep speed does, it allows you to effectively move where the warble kicks in. Now, if you're new to Delkim, then you won't necessarily have known how the old system works, but if you are an existing Delkim user, you would know that Delkims are extremely sensitive. I've got my response set up to maximum there, and of course they pick up every little movement, but you also goes very, very lively when you have it set in maximum, especially on the old ones. So you get up movement that you wouldn't get on any other bite alarm except a Delkim, but sometimes you jump out your bivvy, you think you've had a run, and it's only moved a couple of inches. So that was where we said, right, what can we do to help our users know more about what's going on the business end? You're getting more information than you ever would with a wheel, but it still doesn't help you determine whether it was a liner or it was an actual run. And that is where beep speed kicks in. Now, out of the box, these alarms are set to beep speed level 4, which is the equivalent to our old txi Plus that if you are a Delkim user you'd know and love. We have 8 levels of beep speed. 1 is the slowest, 8 is the fastest. Now, if I now put this into beep speed level 1, and we do this by holding down the push button 1 here, hold it down, beeps once, this is beep speed level 1. Now, I haven't changed the response, it is still very, very responsive, but now I get far less beeps. So now when I get a knock, I can start to tell the difference between a knock and a run. And if I turn this up, so if I hold the button down, I can turn to beep speed 2, 2 beeps. It's just hitting the warble, so it's just hitting go time. But now if I get a tap, I'm only getting a few beeps, but it's still really, really responsive. If I put it back to beep speed 4, which would be like our old range of products, you can see straight away there it kicks in. So it's giving you more of a speed relationship and understanding more about what's going on at the business end. Now, we have 8 levels, and that's for extreme circumstances. So if you were using braid or you're fishing in conditions where you really needed to turn the response right down, I can now put that into maximum beep speed, and I can make it beep more for the movement I'm getting. So I've got that in maximum. If I hold it down, it will just repeat the top one. So you don't necessarily have to count all the way through, but 8 is the maximum. So now I've got that pretty deaf, i.e. I've turned the response right down. There you go. But if I now pull that off the bait runner, I get lots of beeps. And if I put it back to 4, which would be like your old TXIs would be, if I pull it, you can see I'm getting a lot less beeps. So you can virtually make that warble kick in, give you more of an alert to when it's go time, when it's time to strike. So those are the extreme circumstances, the differences between when you're fishing with the response low and when you're fishing with the response high. I've got this in level 8. If I put the response back up to maximum, you'll see how lively that is. The key thing is beep speed does not affect response. That response to the live movement does not change and is only controlled by the R control. Beep speed changes where the warble kicks in and how many beeps you get for a certain movement or line. So it's about balancing that up for your fishing, the way you fish, the conditions that you're fishing in. Most of the time, you're going to fish in the same way, same lake, same distance, same weight of bobbin, same sort of conditions where, you're likely to want to use the same beep speed, and it memorizes that. So once you've found your magic number, then it will stay, it will remember it, and then you'll just go back to it and it's how it will be. So generally, you'd probably want to slow down the beeps. So you want to move that warble so it doesn't kick in as early, and therefore you can use higher levels of response and get more out the alarm. That is kind of where we've come from, and that's the idea behind it. So Default out the box is beep speed level 4, super lively like you're used to if you're an existing Delkim user. But now I suggest using at least beep speed 3, which you can see it's not kicking in quite as quickly. It's just about hitting the warble in this setup that I've got here. And then that's what you want. You want it to hit the warble when it's go time, not just when you get a tap on the line. And of course, as I said, it memorized that setting. So once you found it, that's it. If you're new to Delkim or you're new to these alarms, I would always suggest leaving it in the default setting first, getting the response where you want it, and then change. If you start changing all the beep speed before you've even got your response level set anywhere near where you need to be, you're going to start getting yourself all confused and lose where you are. Set your response first, get that initial response to the line movement as you want, and then adjust your beep speed. But once you've found it, you'll be fine, and that will just stay there. That is one of the game-changing features on the new digital alarms. And now I'm going to show you how to adjust. For beep speed, you just hold down push button 1 and it cycles through the beep speeds. There are 8 beep speeds. It will always start at level 1 and work its way up. Once you've set your beep speed, it will memorise it when you turn the alarm off and back on again, so it always stays where you've wanted to set it.